Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Not my usual time. Really wasn't planning on doing this, but sitting here listening to Mark Hamill. Attention, there is an error alert. Key's been under error alert for 7 hours and 17 minutes. Pretty much the standard across most of Kyiv or most of Ukraine. 6 hours, 10 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. It's been one hell of an evening. Basically, Ukraine's been under attack since 10 p.m. last night, their time. I just didn't feel right not doing a stream today, even though I'm still not 100%. So, on the fly, no prep, just doing it. So, bear with me. Oh, shit. Excuse the sneezes and stuff. Such is life, and life happens. Oh well. Well, one of the updates we haven't done in a while. Operational information as of 8 a.m. February 19th, 2025, regarding the Russian invasion. And I just noticed that, so let me go on just to satisfy my speaking of. So, just another alert going off on my phone. Sorry about that. Okay, I do have the number of days right, because it's, yeah. As always, they start the report with "Glory to Ukraine." The 1,092nd day of the large-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine has begun. Over the past 24 hours, 156 combat clashes have taken place. Yeah, don't hope for too much, bitch. I'm gonna go as long as I can. And how I'm feeling. You know the movie Princess Bride? After they bring them back to life with the suction thingy. That's about how I feel. 156 combat clashes taken place. The enemy launched 3 missile strikes and 94 airstrikes against Ukraine, using a total of 4 missiles and 144 guided aerial bombs. Russia carried out more than 5,600 artillery strikes, with 89 from multiple launch rocket systems. Russia also used 2,386 kamikaze drones. Oh, no big deal, Leanne. Thanks for coming here. I appreciate it. Hey, Pyro. Mertzi. Yeah, I do feel a bit like a zombie. The enemy carried out airstrikes, in particular in the areas of the settlements of Remyeka, Rozhmeshkova, Marshkinka Buda, Cherkaska Lozova, Huliopol, Zelenskny, and, oh, I hate this one, Piatikati. That's nowhere near right. I hope I'm going to get yelled at for that one. Over the past day, the Defense Forces, aviation, missile troops, and artillery struck 8 areas of concentration of personnel, weapons, and military equipment. 5 artillery systems, 4 command posts, 1 air defense system, and 2 other important facilities of the Russian invaders. In the Kharkiv direction, our troops successfully repelled 2 enemy attacks near the settlements of Mala Shapkivka and Topoli yesterday. So, 2 towns I am sort of familiar with. Zoom into Kharkiv and see if we could find Mali. Okay, maybe I have to zoom in more for this one. Okay, well, let's scratch that. Come over here to Topoli and see if we can find. Okay, right off the bat, we're going to have to go to Google Maps and zoom out before it loads so you can't see where I'm at. Kharkiv. Okay, north of Kupiansk, right there. So, Kupiansk. Still not showing on here. So Mala Shapkivka. So both these are more over towards Kupiansk direction. Topoli and Mala Shapkivka. In the Kupiansk direction, 16 combat clashes took place near Petropavlivka, Pshishkiani, Zarazova, and Lozova. Names we are all familiar with: Petropavlivka, Pshishkiani, Zarazova, and Lozova. Kupiansk being right here. Heading to the south of Kupiansk to the Liman direction, where our troops stopped 12 enemy attacks, the invaders concentrated their main efforts in the areas of the settlements of Kopanki, Makivka, Novolubivka, and Yampolivka. Zooming in, Liman, Kopanki, Novoihorivka, Makivka, Yampolivka, and I think that was all of them. Novolubivka is here. Sorry. Heading to the south of Liman to the Service direction. Near the settlement of Bilogorivka, Hirovkivka, and Verkhnyo-Kamiansky, our defenders successfully repelled 4 enemy attacks. So, again, from Liman over to Servisk, Hirohorivka, Bilohorivka, and Verkhnyo-Kamiansky. Yeah. It's a tough one if you overthink it, to say. Three attempts by the invaders to advance near Veshuvkivka and in the direction of Oleksandro-Shotyeni were stopped by Ukrainian soldiers in the Kramatorsk direction. Heading to the southwest of Servisk, Kramatorsk, Chasiv Yar, Oleksandro-Shrutny, and oh shoot, my brain's still not caught up to normal. Like I can even remember all these normal. Veshyukivka. It's up here. So one attack, or the attacks were here and down here. Coming to the south from Chasiv Yar and Kramatorsk, we come into the Torets direction. Where in the Torets direction, the enemy tried to advance 18 times in the areas of Krimsky, Divkivka, Toretsk, and Secherebenivka. Again, similar towns to ones we all know. Divelivka, take your pick which one it means. They're pretty close together. Of course, Toretsk, you have to come in. Krimsky is here. And Secherebenivka. A lot of changes in this area since the last time I streamed. But Toretsk is looking very similar to what it was before. A jumble of combat happening throughout. Georgie's an optimist? Okay. Coming into the Pokrovsk area. And you'll notice there's starting to become blue. Ukrainians have started a counteroffensive in several areas along the front and have been making progress. But still, 50 attacks were repelled by our defenders in the Pokrovsk direction over the last day. The enemy troops are more active near the settlements of Tarsivka, Vodeny Druj, Melanivka, Promin, Prishtiani, Kotini, Nadivka, Kotyanarka, Novo-Oleksandrivka, Zaporizhia, Oleksivka, Novotoretsky, Andriivka, Dashny, Shevchenko, and Ukali. Again, a lot of names we recognize. Do our do my best to go through these with you. Kalinovi, Terasivka. Zooming in here towards this little advance is Vodeni Druj. The crossroads here that the Russians had for a little while, Ukraine was able to free that up to allow the road to continue to function, even though it is under fire. Elizavetsivka, Novotoretsky, Promin, Lisivka, Dashinsky, Novoukrainka, Novotrud. We all know these. Pishkiani, Udachny, Upensivka. Those weren't mentioned. Shevchenko, Andriivka, and Ukali. Obviously, another pocket is forming here. I have not been able to do any research or any, I haven't even looked at videos today, so I haven't looked at videos in a week, so we'll find out as we go along. I wish I could give you more on this information, but I mean, as you can see from all these little chutes and streets, it is very similar to what's happening in Toretsk. More than likely house-to-house fighting, localized areas of attacks, and I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more about Constantinople and Andriivka. Only if it goes on the other end, Nian. The defense forces continue to stay. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Continue to restrain the enemy in the Novopavlivka direction. In the area of Rozdolny and in the directions of Constantinople and Burlatsky, the invaders tried to break through the Ukrainian defense lines 17 times. Rozdolny, of course, Constantinople, and Burlatsky. Those were the main areas of Russia's focus in that area. And moving over to Guliopol. There, in the Guliopol direction, the enemy made 14 attempts to advance in the Novosilka and Novopil areas. Guliopol is right here, and Novopil and Novosilka are right here, bordering Burlatsky and butting up next to Velika Novosilka. Okay, already having a hard time focusing. In the Orhiv direction, the occupation forces carried out 6 assaults on the positions of our troops in Novoandriivka, Stepovoye, and Mali Surbaki. Coming down from Guliopol to Orhiv, Malatomaka, Malasrbachka, Novoandriivka, and let me just make sure. Novoandriivka, Stepove is here. Oh, basically right across this line here. The enemy did not conduct active operations in the Dnipro direction over the past day. Ukrainian defense forces continue to conduct operations in the Kursk direction, where the enemy over the past day conducted 10 assaults on the positions of Ukrainian units, carried out 35 airstrikes using 44 bombs, and carried out 502 artillery strikes, with 4 from multiple launch rocket systems. Again, the operational situation in Volyn and Polisia directions has not changed. No signs of enemy offensive formations have been detected. Goes into the losses for today. Join the defense forces. Razom de Pereможemo. Together we will win. That is the operational information from yesterday, about 21 hours ago. In about 3 hours, the update for today will be out. Let me grab Discord, and let's go just with today's for right now. Total combat losses of the enemy, 2/19/25, 1092nd day of the full-scale invasion. 1,300 personnel were added to the casualties for Russia today, bringing the total up to 862,390. 19 tanks were added today, bringing the total up to 10,120. 23 APVs were added, bringing the total up to 21,098. I just missed all the milestones because of this cold, didn't I? 72 artillery systems, bringing the total up to 23,347. 3 MLRSs, bringing it up to 1,288. 175 UAVs, bringing it up to 25,861. 146 vehicles, bringing the total up to 37,825, and 1 special equipment for a total of 3,752. The author of what, Russ? Let's see if I can go back through here and find. And some of those benchmarks got. Oh, it was a while ago that they crossed the threshold on some of these. So it was back on the 10th. Yeah, I was here for that. I was here. Okay, yeah, okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, Bills. Yeah, but I'm not an author. I don't even count myself as a streamer. I'm just a guy that fell in love with Ukraine. Pictures. I got to go there and witness some of this stuff. I got to be there for the handover, shake the hand of the soldiers that got the truck and say, glad I could help get you what you need. Not a huge accomplishment in and of itself. Actually, I should do it this way. I had my touristy moments. Some of these I can't show you because my friends have said they don't want to be shown on screen. So, this one's cute. Okay, let me play it with a different player. Open with VLC. That's the shoes of my friend in Kiev. Just down the way from the big church where my other picture was taken. But yeah, goats just hanging out in the middle of Kiev. And then, of course, one of my favorite photos I have when I was in Kiev. But no, to answer your question, if that was directed at me, is I have no special relation with Ukraine other than I have friends there. More than friends there. And it's kind of bullshit what's happening because they're not part of the in crowd or whatever you want to call it with fucking Trump. Oh. That's kind of a bad grainy photo, but that was me getting after the haircut on the corner of my street in Kiev. But there's other cool stuff in Ukraine too, just not all war stuff. This was the park I went and did my walk every day. And, well, one of the things I like to say is it's not what I've done for Ukraine. I'm a selfish person and I'll admit it openly. Ukraine has saved my life many, many times. And I want to repay the favor. Special little church out in the village. Some of you that know me personally and talk to me personally know where this is. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with all the planes lately. The one in Arizona today. Anyways, enough about me. The stream isn't really about me. Oh, yeah, I got a lot of stuff on Telegram that I have not caught up on. And it's going to take me a while. Maybe we'll go through some of that tonight, pick a channel and go through it. But here is Zelensky's speech for today. Hold on. Before we do that, let me go back. Because, they put out the why Ukraine needs more air defense video every Sunday. And I wanted to find that before we went out. Or moved on, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, he's put out a lot of videos. He's done a lot of work. 12th. No, it should have been way before that. Anyways, I guess we're not going to do the air defense one. But the big news was this. Oh, this was the video I was looking for. I just didn't notice it. Oh, and I still have it on mock speed. So let me restart this. Chernobyl. Yet Russia says we're not attacking Ukraine's electrical infrastructure. Then why is a drone hitting the Chernobyl nuclear power plant? We're not attacking civilians, but how come all these civilian houses are being hit? You're telling me in this day and age they can't aim any better? Schools, houses, not so much churches, but shopping centers. But you said, thing is, yeah, it's obviously on purpose when you sit here and look at it. But people aren't taking the time to sit here and look at it, and they're just going off of whatever's told to them by mainstream media. And mainstream media is just going by what is being told to them by the press secretaries of the world. But let's do Zelensky's speech for today, give my voice a rest for a little bit, and I'll catch with you on the other end.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Сьогодні в Україні були доповіді військових про фронт, про Курську операцію. Наші хлопці тримають позиції. І завдяки цьому зберігаються позиції нашої держави. Сьогодні багато роботи було із новими замовленнями для нашої армії. І це наше внутрішнє виробництво. Ми пропрацьовуємо нові контракти. І політичний момент. Багато зустрічей, нарад сьогодні, командування армії, розвідка, міністри для підготовки до перемовин з представником президента Сполучених Штатів Америки. Генерал Келлог вже в Києві. Він вже зустрічався з главкомом Сирським, з нашими керівниками розвідок та спеціальних служб, також з керівником мого офісу. На завтра запланована наша зустріч з генералом Келлогом. І для нас дуже важливо, щоб зустріч і взагалі робота з Америкою була конструктивною. Разом з Америкою і Європою мир може бути надійніше. І це є нашою метою. Головне, щоб це було не тільки нашою метою, а спільною з партнерами. Тим більше напередодні вже третіх роковин початку цієї війни. Війни, яку ми в Україні хочемо закінчити від першої ж її секунди. Я впевнений, завершимо і надійним миром. І так, щоб Росія не змогла прийти в Україну ще раз, і щоб повернулись українці з російського полону, і щоб в Україні було майбутнє. Це нормальне бажання кожної нації. Говорив сьогодні з генсеком НАТО Рюте про те, що вже відбулось, і про те, що може відбутися найближчим часом. Вдячний за поради, підтримку і, звичайно, цінуємо все, що робить для нас генсек. Говорив з сенатором Лінсі Гремом, дуже конструктивною людиною. Дякую усім в Америці за двопартійну підтримку. Домовились працювати разом і надалі. Сьогодні ж я говорив з президентом Макроном. Еммануель поінформував мене про його нові контакти, нові домовленості з партнерами. Дуже важливо підготувати надійні гарантії безпеки. Це спільна робота партнерів, і ми дуже цінуємо активність кожного лідера. І ще, зараз досі тривають ремонтні роботи в Одесі після російського удару. Досі без електрики більше 80 тисяч людей. І стільки ж без тепла. Ми робимо все, щоб відновити нормальність, і це буде. Я вдячний усім, хто працює заради наших людей, нашої країни. І це важливо. І саме на це я завжди розраховую. І ми стоїмо міцно на ногах. Я розраховую на українську єдність, на нашу українську хоробрість, на наші відносини з партнерами, на нашу єдність Європи і на прагматизм Америки. Америки, якій потрібен успіх, так само, як і всім нам. Успіх об'єднує. Наша єдність – це те, що найкраще захищає наше майбутнє. Майбутнє не з Путіним, а з миром. І це для всіх у світі вибір. І для найсильніших бути з Путіним чи з миром. Варто вибрати мир. І дякую. Я дякую всім за підтримку. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. And again, making sure to thank everybody that helps Ukraine. That includes you guys. So, if nothing else, you take away from his speech, take away that he's saying thank you to you every day. Zelensky is the world's best leader at this point. I think Zelensky is the best leader Ukraine could have had for this war. I don't think anybody else had that would have been elected, would have been in office, would have had the charisma and humility to do what Zelensky had to do to get the support they needed. Yeah, see, that's the difference, Deanne. Drama and stuff is good for YouTube because it drives up subscribers and views and stuff. I don't care about subscribers or views. Well, I do, but I don't want to drive up my numbers that way. I'd rather see people get the news rather than drama. Oh, I have to disagree with you a little bit on that one, Necromancer. It's not an orchestrated stalemate whatsoever. It's drones. Drones have made it a stalemate. You don't need a billion-dollar military budget to crank out drones. You don't need big pieces of machinery to fire artillery shells with drones. Unfortunately, war got really, really inexpensive in this war. Not with human life, but with money-wise. You know, an FPV drone's $500. You know, an artillery piece to fire a $150 artillery shell used to cost $80,000-$90,000. Now you can do the same damage with about $200 in goggles and, you know, drones. I wouldn't say it's completely a crowdfunded military, but yeah, it's very grassroots military. So many businessmen in Ukraine like cashed out their businesses to start up drone companies. It's just amazing what the Ukrainians have been able to do to defend their country. It's inspiring to me, and my God, I hope they do it. Let's pick a channel. Engineers of Third Assault. This video shows our enemy building entire mesh tunnels several kilometers long near Chasiv Yar to ensure safe logistics at the front. Such tunnels also protect against drones, particularly those operating through fiber optics. The solution is not expensive, considering that the mesh can have a pitch of 50 centimeters. A fine mesh is used on top to protect against dumping and mines. They used mesh between poles before, but it turned out ineffective. Electronic warfare wise, drones now use so many frequencies that it's virtually impossible to completely jam them. Drones with machine vision and drones controlled via fiber optics have appeared. Therefore, simple engineering solutions such as stretched nets to protect against drones over roads are becoming more common. Here's the video.
Наша группа содержит более 2 километров антидроновых сетей, постоянно совершенствуем технологию, сети на наиболее открытых участках дорог, чтобы обезопасить продвижение нашей техники. Стараемся постоянно наращивать площадь покрытия, увеличивать технологию, совершенствуем установки сетей, чтобы быстрее это все установить и обезопасить продвижение техники и личного состава.
So again, interesting solutions hopping up along the railroad or the roadways to protect against drones. This might get me a 18 plus rating, but let's go into AAR. And Okay, I don't need to download. Kherson is fighting against wormy drones that are prowling the city streets. We promised to return to Kherson with electronic reconnaissance and electronic warfare equipment. AAR Bird Special Group has been there for over a month. The project is in progress. Here is video from Kherson.
Бажаю здоров'я, Мадяр на зв'язку. Збір на 1000 оптоволоконних сетів закрито протягом 36 годин. 22,6 мільйона гривень ми зібрали з вами протягом всього 1,5 доби. Я дякую вам за довіру, небайдужість та підтримку. З нас якісні результати та відпрацювання. До мешканців Херсону. Робочі дрони, що виявляються та дусяться нами вже понад місяць у небі над любим Херсоном, тим не менш падають по довільній траєкторії та вибухають. Будьте пильні, дива не буде. З тою холерою нам ще довго доведеться боротись. Але вже зараз ви маєте відчути полегшення, адже робота ведеться і нарощується.
So apparently this is all video from captured Russian drones.
Вже підпливли, так? Все, пішов. Ну, саме так це виглядає. В режимі онлайн. Ворог методично опрацьовує місто Херсон та околиці всіми видами безпілотних засобів. Окрему загрозу собою представляють широко застосовані дрони FPV досить великою бойовою частиною та дрони Mavic зі скидами. Що стосується інтенсивності дронів FPV, лише за позаминулу добу силами зведеної групи птахів Мадяра та Сил оборони України 47 дронів FPV було виявлено над містом, 39 з котрих знищено. Відсоток дуже притомний, але знову ж таки нагадую, що всі ці 39 подавлених дронів, вони кудись гепнулися. Відбувся вибух, так чи інакше. Він не контрольований, траєкторія їх польоту не контрольована, але вони падуть саме в той момент, коли наноситься подавлення, і той дрон дубоніє саме там, де він летить. Те, що ви бачите на наших нарізках. Протягом доби минулої було виявлено 37 дронів, 25 з котрих було подавлено. Це, звісно, не кринківський темп. У 2024 році, коли ми приймали участь у лівобережній кампанії, лише в секторі Кринків в день виявлялося 150-200 ворожих дронів FPV, з котрих в середньому 78% знищувалося. Але тоді це відбувалося у секторі знаходження військовослужбовців, у секторі безпосереднього виконання бойових завдань. А зараз ми маємо ситуацію, коли ті дрони працюють по цивільному населенню, проникають в місто, і боротьба з ними є дуже актуальною, адже місцеві мешканці не завжди можуть мобільно реагувати на дрони. Можливо, не всі знають там безпекові протоколи, адже це справа суто військова, і тому боротьба і створення щільного куполу в місті Херсон.
For those that can't understand, I'm only catching part of it, but like they're detecting 47 drones a day in Kherson. I think it was 39 or 38 were taken out by electronic warfare when they got there. after they've got there? Now that they've gotten there. Okay. A lot of technical stuff, that setting up electronic warfare and other issues, but I kind of also been looking at this map in the back. Azov Sea, Crimea, Kherson, Zaporizhia, Orhiv, and just just wanted to point out the hot spots. Zaporizhia is like right here, Orhiv right here. This is up towards Huliopol. Anyways, back to what he's saying, see if I can catch more of it.
Та й в інших містах, котрі безпосередньо знаходяться десь на смузі розмежування лінії фронту, мусить виконуватися цілодобово шляхом постійного моніторингу радіопростору аналогового, виявлення тих дронів FPV, їх знищення. Сьогодні проінспектував роботу розгорнутого центру координації птахів Мадяра в зведеній групі з військовослужбовцями Сил оборони України і трошки відкурсував вас про поточний стан справ. І ще раз звертаюся до мешканців міста Херсон та околишніх населених пунктів для того, щоб ви були свідомими, що та загроза нікуди не дівається. Ці дрони, враховуючи близькість розміщення ворога через річку Дніпро, дуже швидко можуть долетіти в зону проживання цивільного населення, в зону пересування громадського транспорту, в зоні накопичення людей. Адже таким чином загроза нанесення ворогом вражень залишається. Ми, в свою чергу, робитимемо все для того, щоб концентрацію тих дронів, які долітають і потенційно несуть небезпеку, зменшити. Триматиму в курсі вас по роботі в даному напрямку радіоелектронної розвідки та радіоелектронної боротьби, для того, щоб підтримувати загальний інформаційний фон та усвідомлення цивільними людьми, що проживають на даних територіях, про ті небезпеки, котрі навколо них чиняться силами безпілотних засобів ворога щоденно і щоночі. Очі та жало, хробачий жах. Честь.
I didn't catch most of that, unfortunately. But at the end, he was kind of talking about how they're continuing to work to protect the city of Kherson, and they will continue to do the best work they can do. 3 grads and a T-90. Comrade Major, everything is bad. It rushed straight into the tower. Of course, Madiar is always collecting for drones.
З абсолютної більшості хробачої шлакотехніки саме РСЗВ «Град» не часто вдається налітати та знищити дронами FPV. На-нах! Бездоганне влучання F-10 у виконанні пілотів птахів Мадяра з першої спроби. Горить залпофоєр. А тут ще один накатує. Градина завжди лакома ціль. Пада бас-гітара! Ах, козаки клінчика наїбнули її одненьким влучанням. Красунчики! До розвідка боєм ведеться прямо з FPV. Мавіки тут не літають. О, стоміндений, ще один в кущах. Дивіться, повний, заряджений. Був. Це все складні відпрацювання, глибоко від смуги у ворожий тил. Хробача САУ. Чпок. Повторний захід з тилу. Є контакт. Горить САУ
Є
прямо
контакт.
в гаражовий. Якість відео не Голлівуд. Через 3-доларову камеру FPV мавіки сюди не долітають. Наступна САУ килимами завоскована. От натігали з хатів людських майна, щоб заховатись. Нє-нє-нє, не від нас. Насук! БМД-ха. Поширена хробако-піхотовозка. У більшості одноразова. Ну та й йо. Глибоке занурення. До розвідка боєм горить короста. Ще одна. Теж з проникненням. Оп! Норм. Що вам казав? Одноразові. Аналогічно. Не встигаю сьогодні довгу нарізку робити. Дуже інтенсивний рух на смузі. Кетмен до тих 3 градів вам трохи додав консерв. Один випадок зараз розгорнув в деталях про спалений днями танк Т-90. Гордість хробачої армії. Звичайний двіж, але хробаки нам у коментарях своїх допомогли і до розвідкою огарка землі. Зараз побачите. И послухайте.
Бешкель. Чё, давайте, место меняйте нахуй, ебать. Там уже командир переживает эту хуйню. Убирать надо этот нахуй, 90-ик оттуда. Сегодня мне доклад, что ты поменял его. И переоборудовать надо будет.
90-ік вони там тримають, но...
Бешкель ее сожгут. Я уже 2 дня нахуй. Командир полка мне эту хуйню скидывает, говорит, бля, я говорю, да ищем, блядь. Поэтому, блядь, надо рядом посмотреть, хотя бы переставьте на метров 400-300.
Oh, they won't block you in the end.
Переставить не успели, хоть посмотрите, хробаки, как мы ваш Т-90 поімели. Ось Чигирях, вам не дуже видно, але згодом все побачите. Вормбастер птахів мадярів працює, щоб сковернути наступний виліт. Оп! Запалюючи віднесли. Боєприпас терміт, пам'ятаєте? Добре, пішов. Ну, та й на вірочку ще один. Як же ж без того? F-10. Ай, збиває хробак дрона, але прямо над танком. Тому дрон падає правильно і роботу свою терміт нарешті робить. Далі слухаємо пряму мову враження хробаків. Вибачте, трохи розвезло. З перехоплення. Ну і дивимося їх відео з кавчанням. Ох, комусь жопу на вуха натягнули.
Товарищ майор, все плохо. Прошла пехота. Такелажка это.
No such thing as being late to my stream, David.
За водой они избегали.
When you have time, you have time. When I have time to stream, I do it.
Видать, спалили нашу
When I
машину.
feel good enough to do stream, I do it. It's
Одна отработала.
this isn't a job, it isn't a schedule. It's
Еще прилетели. 2 сбили. Одна зажигалка.
doing the
как понял,
best we can.
что чую, сказал,
TBIC.
что начала гореть. Сразу, как она только и сразу вспыхнула на башне. Сейчас патроны от карда, я так понимаю, начали работать.
Начали. Гарно розгорілося. Все гуд. Тепер подивимося до розвідку землі. Хробаками зроблено.
Oh, even get the after shot.
Да. Какая хуйня. Всему пизда.
Кордик цікавий. Т-90 згорів, каже, карду пізда. А, таке. Тихої та спокійної вам. Очі та жало, робачий жах. Честь
I can't help but smile from some of the stuff he says. And my lips are so dry and chapped from being sick. It feels like they're going to split open every time I smile. Announcement of collection. This video is on his YouTube channel, so I'm not going to play that one. Education project, an invasion of wormy rabbits, poplar fluff, and three-piece makeup, and other journeys of the Yobblers. Okay. We are not on TikTok.
Свіжа партія нейобаних хробаків заїхала днями на Донбас. Ті ябаньки, повні провізії та блоків цигарок, не лякані дронами, завмирають. А отримавши Валентинку у вигляді піздюліни, мають пару хвилин на осмислення доцільності своїх мандрів чужою землею. Попереджаю, саме зараз буде справді жахлива картина потрошіння, тому прошу обмежити перегляд дітьми. На хробак, єбуть ті хмари, ото йобнуті в вашій увазі. По дрону у кожну хробачу макітру. Ну ви в курсі. Цей шматок шляхопроводу я вже днями показував. Ось де обведене червоним лежить два йоблика з попередньої частини серіалу з денних Йо. Отут Кетмен нагадайки чорнобілі врізав.
Yeah, we saw this video already. The guy tries to hide behind his dead friend.
Контрольний. Останнє фото. Вангую десь протягом 2 тижнів під кожною тополею по пару йобликів ми маркуємо. Вормбастер птахів Мадяра працює. Рубак відстрілюється. Тра-та-та, тра-та-та. Томаш, стріляка. Кутяпки тому першому відірвало по яйця. Зараз побачите. У парі летить ще один FPV Вормбастер. Ось він промайнув по екрану. Тому спочатку єбнем, а потім розглянемо. Ось дрон. Перший хробак активує димову шашку. Ну так, побався на дорожку. А нас цікавить той другий під тополею.
Smoking's bad for your health.
Увага на його шолом. Кролик. Бас-гитара. Это не только ценный мех. Это 80, иногда и 100 килограмм биомассы.
I wish I knew what the word кролик means.
Маленьким бздючо FPV. Але з довгим стоячим ділдо. На ліг типу труп. Навколо сніжок припорошив, нема слідів прильоту дрона. У компакт.
Okay, that's...
Уважно палить. Стоять.
That's a lot of gore in this video. I think we're going to have to pass on this one for now. Maybe after another time. Pilots of the 4th Ranger Regiment of Special Operations Forces accurately destroy enemy personnel, equipment, and vehicles in the Kursk region. Video from SSO. That was one video from the SSO. Clearing an industrial building behind enemy lines. The SSO destroyed 23 occupiers. UAV operators of the 3rd Special Operations Forces Regiment discovered a concentration of the enemy in one of the buildings of the industrial enterprise. Tactical group quickly advanced to the enemy's occupied facility, cleared the premises. The SSO soldiers held their positions for 2 days. As a result of intense fighting, a fire broke out on the area. The Special Forces operators successfully withdrew in armored Humvees. As a result of the lightning-fast task, Special Forces destroyed 23 occupants, 10 in the building and 13 around it. From our side, no losses.
Нас окружають, а ми в них в тилу.
Працюйте по посадкам, по нашому селі не працюйте, як прийняв. Йо! Не сильно не виходь, бо рикошетом.
День номер 2, ми в тилу в пі. Наносимо максимальні втрати. Раз, втрат 0.
Давай, виїжджай, брат! Посадку! Гаси, гаси, не жалій патруль! Гаси!
Well, a little bit of the Special Forces operating behind enemy lines. Thanks to Sergei Petula Charitable Foundation and your donations, the Special Operation Forces units received 3 Biskiava crews. Okay.
Ви донатили, ви відкривали банки, ви підтримували збір. І ось черговий результат. Сьогодні ми передаємо силам спеціальних операцій чергових 3 блискавки ССО. 3 екіпажі, які ми укомплектували з вашою допомогою, пікапами, ударними БПЛА, дартс, генераторами, елементами живлення, старлінками, а також засобами радіоелектронної боротьби та РЕР.
Дякуємо кожному, хто донатив. Дякуємо бізнесу, що донатив. Завдяки вам ми можемо нищити ворога не лише на землі і в небі, а також знищувати його системи ППО, РЕП і РЕР.
Але це не межа. Екіпажів для знищення ворогів має бути ще більше. Продовжуйте донатити на блискавки ССО.
Well, recon and strike drones, it looks like. Speaking of drones, hey Blonde, how's the fundraiser going for the Mavic 3Ts for Viper? And while that wait for the delay, Wrath of the Most Pure gives results. Sniper systems attained through the Foundation's project. This video shows their effective work at distances from 800 more to go. Well, so 10% left. 90% there. So work of SSO snipers. 46th Brigade. Looks like a award ceremony. Some of the guys from the 46th. Combat work of the 46th Brigade from February 9th to 15th. You'll continue to have the opportunity to receive firsthand, objective, and accurate information about the effective activities of the units of our brigade. Here's the video.
Бажаю здоров'я. На Покровському напрямку в околицях міста Курахове міцно тримає оборонні позиції 46-та окрема аеромобільна бригада десантно-штурмових військ Збройних сил України. З 9 по 15 лютого 2025 року наші побратими відбили 21 ворожий штурм. При цьому російські окупанти втратили 1 танк і 1 БМП, 63 одиниці особового складу, 111 БПЛА типу «Мавік» та FPV, 5 одиниць БПЛА типу «Крило», 1 одиницю автомобільної та 2 одиниці мототехніки, 4 арт-системи, а також 2 засоби спостереження і розвідки. 46-та окрема аеромобільна бригада продовжує гідно виконувати завдання із захисту країни. Тож не будьте осторонь, підтримуйте нашу бригаду і разом ми здолаємо одвічного ворога.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. More combat work of the 46th Brigade. Well, come on, let her get off of that. Obviously just out for training, but and of course, here we come to the 42nd Brigade. This is the brigade that Viper is part of. These are the guys that we're helping get in the drones for. And hopefully more videos from, because only 2 videos from 42nd Brigade in the week I've been out of it.
Два роки тому було створено 424-й окремий стрілецький батальйон. За цей час ви пройшли важкий бойовий шлях, витримали жорсткі випробування, зустріли ворога в обличчя та щоразу доводили свою силу. Ви билися в найгарячіших точках, вдень і вночі нищили окупанта, виконували бойові завдання, які, здавалося б, неможливо виконати. Вас намагалися зламати, але ви ставали лише сильнішими. Ви втрачали побратимів, але їхня пам'ять стала для вас незламним стрижнем боротьби. 424-й ОСБ – це не просто підрозділ. Це братерство, загартоване у вогні боїв. Це воїни, які не відступають. Це сила, яка невпинно рухається вперед, виборюючи кожен метр української землі. Сьогодні ви відзначаєте 2-гу річницю, і ця дата – символ вашої відданості, професіоналізму та незламного духу. Ви гордість бригади. Ви захисники України, які крок за кроком наближають перемогу. Пишаємося вами. Ваша боротьба – це майбутнє нашої держави. Слава Україні!
Героям слава! A little bit of a training video from the 42nd. The symbol of strength, will, and independence. Today, Ukraine celebrates the day of the national emblem, the sign of our identity, heritage, and struggle for freedom. The trident represents the strength of our people, indomitable spirit, and faith in victory. From princely banners to the modern front, it has always been and remains a symbol of those fighting for Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to the heroes who fight for our independence. And this was today. You know? K2 always has good videos. They're a long one. 10 minutes, 38, and it's 18 plus. Hail, Hurricane, Infantry, Tanks, no problem for FPV. FPV drones are one of the most important elements of destruction today. Are trying to introduce very effective countermeasures. Whole rolls of trees, rubber, and nets on their armor. Very often the invaders find themselves in the field alone against our FPV operators. In such cases, they have no chance at all. Show you a selection of destroyed and hit targets during the winter, which is still ongoing. The blacklist of our FPV operators also includes a very sweet target such as a BM-21 Grad and the BM-27 Hurricane. Okay, it makes me want to watch. I didn't realize there was that much of a delay on the stream. I was sitting back down when I see that the camera has me just leaving as I was sitting down. I wouldn't say exactly, Dawson. I just made a run to the bathroom to say hi to Ralph, so. Well, most years I'll take my immune system any day over someone else's. Because every about 4 to 6 years, I get a cold that like knocks me out for a week. That's what this one did too. It's a matter of getting myself rehydrated. For the most part, at this point. You know, some of these tanks from Russia look like they should be in like a Mad Max movie. This is what the images look like when the EW is active. Yeah, the L in LJ stands for lurker. And again, from K2, thanks to all who support and donate. I'm not sure how much more I have in me. Definitely not doing Third Assault. They like to show too much. I have to screen those videos. Let's hop up to War Ukraine and go through what they have been.
Good afternoon. After very strongly renaming the Gulf of Mexico as Gulf of America, we will be making further changes effective immediately. Europe will now be known as America Plaza East. The Panama Canal will be known as Trump America Canal of Trump. And of course, Turkey will now be known as Chicken.
Why are you renaming Turkey in particular?
Why are we doing it? Because we can. What are they going to do about it? Does Turkey want a beef over being called chicken? We'll call them beef. What else? Oh, also we're going to name Hungary Thirsty. But don't worry, the Prime Minister there will do whatever I tell him.
What is behind this policy of changing everyone's name?
Because America will no longer allow people to tell us what to call them. It's like the pronouns. It's over. So what's that? Zelensky's on line 3? Put him on speaker. What else do you want? We're cutting off the aid to meet... Mr. Trump, we demand that you call our country Trump Crane. Trump Crane? Boy, I always thought of it more of a me crane than a Ukraine, but tell me more. Greater Trump Crane. Greatest Trump Crane. Deal! And we will also rename Donbass Donald Bass and retake from Russia. Deal! Deal! I love it. Sally, tell Pete Hegseth to give these Trump Cranians whatever they want.
I was trying not to laugh because of this. Uh, 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 Russians installed a Smerch 2 naval rocket launcher on the base of an Ural truck. Ukrainians' response? I gotta blow that up. So much for that naval rocket system being on the Ural truck. Military convoy of 30 Russian vehicles was unable to enter the base in Tartus. After standing at the checkpoint for 8 hours, the trucks returned to the other base in Syria. Yeah, the Russians are used to standing in line for bread, shoes, anything. Oh, why would you sit there and whack a mine with a stick? No, not doing another 11-minute video. Oh, you watched this already. It's Maddie-R's video. Russia defense spending exceeds all of Europe combined. I don't need to read any more of that because, well, I guess we can. European defense budget, including the UK and EU members, rose by 12% last year to 457 billion. Slightly less than Moscow spending, which is equivalent to 462 billion. So Russia is outspending all of EU by 5 billion a year. In 4 or 5 years, in a scenario without U.S. support, European countries would be vulnerable to a Russian attack if a ceasefire or deal is made in Ukraine that allows Russia to rearm. So why put off a war now? Why end a war now when you can wait 4 or 5 years and involve even more countries, more death and destruction? Well, at least his hair isn't orange anymore. No, I'm not talking about Trump, no matter how much you put in front of me about Trump. there's still 488 stuff to go through. So more Trump shit. More Trump, more Trump. Poland, France, Germany, France, Germany, Poland, Italy, Spain, UK, and EU reaffirmed support for Ukraine's sovereignty and security. Bukanka on fire after FPV drone strike. A lesson in Russian cursing. Okay.
Отсюда ехал, с Вишневки, и там увидел, и потом, блядь, сзади у меня, блядь, летел, успел остановиться, колеса тоже горит, все горит, ёбаный в рот, только что все делал, машины влияние, блядь, полностью, блядь, все горит, нахуй. Блядь. Убери машину, там еще газ-баллон есть, еще один, второй тоже есть. Сейчас я сильнее буду ебать от его. Давай быстрее. Этого колеса порвало, короче. Я его там видел, вон там видел. А тут пацаны тоже за мной, которые ехали, остановились, короче, они. А я, бля, увидел его, сразу развернулся, начал газовать, смотрю, за мной он едет. И сразу остановился, уже все поздно было. А мы туда забежали, короче.
Well, uh, 82nd Separate Airborne Assault Brigade under fire in FPV drone strikes as he rescues comrades from a position in Kurtz region. Well, it looked like it took a hit right on the vehicle. UK announces major military aid package at the Ramstein meeting. Britain providing additional £150 million for tanks, artillery, and air-to-air missiles. Worth noting that they're not sending money, they're sending the tanks, artillery, and missiles worth that much. Gravehawk anti-air defense system that Britain is sending to Ukraine.
Clue to what this actually is. Inside this shipping container is Gravehawk, a new British-built air defense system. It's primarily designed to combat the waves of Shahed kamikaze drones Moscow's using to target Ukrainian cities, but it can also be used against Russian cruise missiles and aircraft. Greyhawk fires ex-Soviet R-73s, an air-to-air missile known to NATO as the AA-11 Archer. Ukraine has large stockpiles of these, and engineers have adapted them so they can be fired from a ground-based system rather than a fighter jet. Greyhawk was developed in just 18 months. Each system costs around £1 million, with Denmark paying half the cost. Officials say 2 are already being used successfully on the front line, with 15 more due to be delivered in the coming months. Simon Newton, BFBS Forces News.
Cool. Adapting old ammunition with new technology for new purposes. Former Russian finance minister stated the National Welfare Fund is almost completely exhausted. It will last no more than 6 months. Funds of the National Welfare Fund of Russia, which were actively spent on patching up budget holes after the start of the war, will only be enough to finance state expenditures for 6 months in the event of a serious drop in oil prices. This is the assessment given in a column for RBC. He points out that the volume of liquid assets of the fund, currency, and gold in accounts of the central bank as of February 1st had fallen to 3.8 trillion rubles, or about $38, or less than 2% of the GDP. Before the war, it was at 7.4% of GDP. Been saving for years at the expense of the budget's oil and gas revenues. Went to finance the defense order and large-scale budget expenditures, which gave the economy a stimulus of 10% of the GDP over the last 3 years. So this is 10% of Russia's revenue going away in 6 months. You know, pretty bad when they have to collect for tires.
Есть за лесами, за горами ёбнутая страна. Люди не дружат там с мозгами, правит там сатана. Там все считают за окурок, власть про войну молчит. В бункере там живет придурок и каждый день пиздит.
I can't say anything. My lips are already cracking from smiling. Do's and don'ts for donating with PayPal. You know, don't write for drones, kill the Russians or anything like that. You know, do write laptop collection, computer collection, you know, sweets, snacks, toys, a little help, personal cost, flags, souvenirs, stuff like that. Don't eat. The original fund for the drones for Viper, yeah, Ko-Fi shut that down because it was for drones. Yeah, don't write drone. So, yeah, just a little, yeah, don't write drone, unmanned systems, binoculars, thermal vision, soldiers, fighters, defenders, men, warriors, army, military, frontline kill Yorks, town or hotspot names. In other words, keep it vague, otherwise your and my account and future accounts with PayPal may be ended. So be smart about it. You know, you can write a note, but don't. That's cute. That's not just for PayPal. That goes for any of the donation things. Night, Dawson. Yeah, Russian propaganda is so happy with Trump. Meanwhile, Russian people are walking through Moscow holding a ballistic missile up saying for Washington. What a world. Keith Kellogg is in Ukraine now, so hopefully he can talk some sense into him. Only 440 more things to go through. Oh yeah, that looks like a military target, don't it? But Russia doesn't target civilians. Europe will continue to support Ukraine if it does not agree to the terms of a peace deal concluded between the U.S. and Russia. Germany attacks Trump for giving concessions to Putin before negotiations on Ukraine have even begun.
Я развязал кровавую войну в самом центре Европы, а она изо всех сил пытается ее не замечать. Уже 3-й год безнаказанно уничтожаю города и мирное население Украины. Они гордятся, что не допускают эскалации, не давая оружия для защиты. Мы ежедневно совершаем рекордное количество преступлений, а Россию даже из Совбеза ООН не исключили. Я нарушил все возможные правила и договоренности. Но они все еще надеются договориться со мной о мире. Слабые, жалкие. Хорошо. Друзья, Запад сейчас уязвим как никогда. И мы стоим перед началом новой эпохи, где наши правила, наша сила и наше видение мира будут определять будущее. И никто нас не остановит. Слабый. Жалкий. Хорошо.
They have some great cartoons. Yeah. That's all I need to read. I'm not gonna dwell on that because you can't tell him anything. German Chancellor Scholz urged the Bundestag to declare a state of emergency following the last 24 hours events and U.S. statements regarding Ukraine. Yeah, half of Ukraine is still under air alert. The emergency status would allow the government to take on more debt than the current limit permits, to increase the spending on supporting Ukraine, in its defense of Europe against Russia. Because of the war against Ukraine, the security of Germany and Europe, a state of emergency must be declared as quickly as possible, said Scholz. Far cry from where he was 2 years ago. Poland's Donald Tusk. There was good result at the front. Want to thank our soldiers from the 425th Separate Assault Regiment. Well done. President did not give any further details. Two state-of-the-art radar complexes destroyed near Moscow. On the night of February 6th to the 7th, a powerful explosion occurred on the territory of a military unit in the city near Moscow. According to the GUR, the explosive destroyed two Russian Valdai radar complex designed for round-the-clock automatic detection and counteraction of UAVs. There's good results on the front line. It's not appropriate to mention locations. I won't turn this into politics, but I want to thank the guys from the 425th. Your strength truly matters. Well done. When was this posted? Don't know. SBU drones again hit the oil refinery as part of the Baltic pipeline system. Tell me, do you believe the war can end in the near future? That's such a loaded question, it's hard to say. Process of forming Kalish regiments from wounded Russians who are forcibly thrown into trucks. Reports that these Russians, or what's left of them, belong to the 503rd Motorized Rifle Regiment. No, Russian recruitment tactics.
Вот смотрите, как ребята уезжают на войну, блядь, которые не должны ехать. Просто ВПшники заталкивают КамАЗ. О, сейчас очередного. Вот, с костылями человек. Его ломают. Это просто невыносимо, не передать. Это пипец.
Oh yeah, imagine you've already been to the front, you're walking around with a crutch, but because they need more meat for their meat waves, you're picked up and thrown into a truck. Drone on drone. Yeah, Necromancer, this is a lot of old video that I'm going through and old stuff. Only 384 more messages to go through. Uh, 60th Motor Rifle Brigade burned down an enemy infantry fighting vehicle. Okay, if there's any other cattle people out here, tell me that doesn't look like a cattle trailer. This is video of the Russian attack on Chernobyl. So I'm sure you guys have seen it. I have not seen the full video. So that is the sarcophagus that covers the reactor that melted down. So Russia trying to cause another nuclear catastrophe. Uh, 4 people wounded in Sumy, whenever that was. I think we already watched that. That's a double post or something. So, end of the year, Mac, meeting with Keith Kellogg. Ukraine finalized this draft agreement on the rare earth metals and handed over to the U.S. in Munich. I think I know that did not go over well. But I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it much, just what I hear. Because Ukraine offers the EU to jointly extract uranium, lithium, and titanium. Prime Minister noted that Ukraine has 22 out of the 30 minerals that are critically important to Europe. He also emphasized that Ukraine ranks first in Europe in uranium reserves and the largest lithium deposits, and is one of the world's leaders in titanium. U.S. and Trump are not ready to discuss Ukraine's NATO membership. They say our country cannot join NATO. If we're not in NATO, we need an army of 1.5 million people. Americans believe that Ukraine's constitutionally fixed path to NATO is the reason for the war with Russia. Ukraine's ascension into NATO is the cheapest guarantee for security. If you're not in NATO, then Ukraine should have an army of 1.5 million soldiers with modern weapons. A peace deal cannot be signed in Munich. We remember what was signed here before. I will not repeat that. SSU discovered fragments of a Russian drone, including its warhead and serial number, in and around the containment structure at Chernobyl. So this is video from a long time ago of the containment dome being slid into place. You know, and that's what they went through to keep radiation exposure to a minimum, and Russia's attacking that. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have all heard it before, but well, see, that's the thing is, NATO worked for 80 years. It kept the peace since World War II. You know, there was minor conflicts like Korea, Vietnam, stuff like that, but tracking the deliveries of Valentines for Russian refineries. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of the 20. So 2/3 of Russian refineries have been hit. Yeah, NATO's worked for 80 years at keeping the peace between Russia and America. In, well, Europe. And unfortunately, that's run its course. I don't think it's effective anymore. You know, U.S. patrolling the shipping lanes allowed everybody to rise up on an equal footing. And unfortunately, that also means the warmongers have also risen up. Okay, I'm just making sure, but this is like the third time I've seen this video. Yeah, it's the same video. Maybe they're posting it for the fundraiser. More Trump. The situation in Pokrovsk has improved over recent days. Oh yeah, it was a 425th that made the regain the ground in Pushkiani. So yeah, it was the 425th that recaptured this part of Pushkiani. I remember vaguely hearing about that in my few waking hours in the last week. Finland plans to provide a new package of military assistance and will also invest in the production of heavy armored vehicles for Ukraine. Federal judge ordered Trump. Yeah, that was talked about a lot. U.S. aid. Oh, that's always good news. 8 Ukrainian children managed to return home. Among those returned are brothers and sisters. All children were separated from their families due to the war and occupation. Some lost their parents. In general, children from Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson regions were returned. A civilian woman who was illegally detained and sentenced by Russians to the Ukrainian TOT also saw her 2 sons for the first time in a long time. Well, always good to see stories like that. Yeah, that has to be for like a fundraiser or something. Bodies of 757 fallen defenders were returned to Ukraine from morgues in Russian Federation. Well, it's not good that they lost their lives, but it's good that those heroes are being returned home. Coffee on the front.
Ранкова кава по-багатому.
I enjoy seeing videos like that of the soldiers having like a normal life. Well, we're up to the 15th now. Russian is advancing along the Oskil River. Unfortunately, the situation on the bridgeheads in the areas of Dorochny and Novomlinsk is not getting any better. The enemy is advancing and continues to consolidate in the area. In particular, the Katseps have increased control in the direction of Figolivka, approaching the southern outskirts of the village. The enemy is also occupied another area in Dorochny. Okay. Hungary does not need to leave the EU because the EU will fall apart. Okay. Destruction of North Korean infantry by fighters of special forces. So skip. You just throw a shovel at the drone. Oh yeah, I'll end the video there. Russian companies are preparing to start forced oil production cuts as they are unable to sell millions of barrels of oil. This is one of the things I have been hoping for. If Russia shuts their wells, it's going to be years before they're able to open them up again for some of them. So that's good news for me. I'll have to read up more on that later. "50 years. That's how long it will take for the Russian Federation to occupy Ukraine at the current pace of advancement." Confirming Institute for Study of War data that January Russia lost 100 soldiers per kilometer of Ukrainian land captured. Russian Federation loses from 1,000 to 1,500 killed or wounded per day, which forces commanders of Russian units to send wounded soldiers to attack Ukrainian positions. More on the new. As of 3 p.m., no burning of insulation has been observed. The climbers were carrying out work to partially open the shelter structures and fill the voids with fire extinguishing agents. Is completed by sub-zero temperatures, snow, and icing of the structure. The radiation background at the industrial site near Chernobyl is normal. That's not entirely true. Ukraine. So Save EcoBot goes through and there's thousands of radiation sensors throughout Ukraine and Belarus and other areas. Well, it's normal, 0.08 to 0.12 in some areas in Kyiv. But you come up here to Chernobyl, and when I was there visiting last year, these numbers were at a high of 4.1. Now you're seeing 4.68, 4.43. This is the sarcophagus here. This is where it was hit. So seeing a little bit higher numbers. This is the normal when I was visiting there in this area. So 4.68 is a little high, but it's right next to the power plant. You get away from the power plant and you drop down to normals pretty quickly, just outside the exclusion zone. So it's kind of there, but you had me until you said coffee bills. You know, what really gets me is like with the U.S. stopping aid to Ukraine, that doesn't really affect Ukraine all that much. It's going to affect us here in the U.S. more because thousands of jobs were created to build and manufacture the artillery shells, the missiles, refurbished vehicles, and stuff to send to Ukraine, and now those jobs are going to go away. Zelensky suggested to Kellogg go to the front so that he could personally assess the situation. Kellogg would do it. He's one of the few people I trust in our government right now, unfortunately. If you think about victory like in World War II, it probably won't happen. Keith Kellogg on ending the war in Ukraine. Let's be honest. Ukraine fought bravely. The first thing to do is stop the bleeding and then treat. If you think about victory like in World War II, you need to look at this a little differently in the long term. And that's why we want to send a message that aggression is unacceptable and we want a sovereign Ukraine, but we can't be naive. Victory is what you make of it. Giving victory to Putin is not the answer. Yeah, totally. Adam Brown says we became a superpower because of weapon sales. Oh yeah, America's built on weapon sales since World War II. Yeah, Rubio and Lavrov talking. That's 79th Brigade caught some Russians disembarking from their vehicle. Let's see what the 79th Brigade has for us. Oh, farmers have been suffering huge for years. I had this delusion in my head that I could move up here to South Dakota and start a farm. And what I found out was just amazing. You need to be a multi-millionaire to be able to make $60,000 a year farming. Yeah, but that's assuming they actually train their soldiers to avoid these drones. I don't think they give them any training. I just think they go march, go hide. Yeah, that's the thing that kills me is this is Russia's future right here. They're okay. Let's not show any more of that. You know, it's this generation that's fighting this war for Russia that should be having kids right now. The same goes for Ukraine. It's this generation that should be having kids that will be the future of both those countries. And unfortunately, it's not happening. There's going to be a big population hit in 20 years for both these countries because of this war. Nobody's winning. Nobody's going to win in the long run. Yeah, I saw that video, Mertzi. The problem with that video of dodging the drone doesn't have to hit you to hurt you. It's like the grenade. It doesn't have to hit you. It just needs to land near you. The hell? New Russian assault vehicle in Donetsk. You know, as we're sending 4x4s and trucks, old Ladas and painted with spray paint. Fundraiser, more stuff about America. And videos from United 24. Azov battle, footage from Toretsk from Azov. We watched those from Third Assault channel. Ukraine's new Mirage 2005 fighters and F-16's pilot view.
Ukraine received a new type of French Mirage 2000 fighter jet this month, ahead of schedule. Reports suggest it is the 2000-5F version. While not the newest aircraft, it is a valuable upgrade for the Ukrainian Air Force. With the reported air-to-ground package upgrade, the Delta Wing aircraft can fill an important gap in Ukrainian defenses. Even a few of these planes will force Russia to rethink its strategy. The Mirage 2005 is a fourth-generation fighter that Ukraine has already received, and like the F-16, offers both advanced avionics and multi-role capabilities. Developed during the Cold War and upgraded over the years, it remains a strong fighter. The F-5's main anti-air missile, SF-35.
Okay, not what I thought it was going to be, but...
And get away safely.
So Ukraine got new Mirages from the French. 16th, 3 days ago now. Ukrainian eggs for U.S. military aid. I'll tell you one thing, Ukrainian eggs are much better than eggs here in the States that you buy from the store. Last night in Solomysk on the fifth night of the 15th, Solomysk automobile unit plant was attacked. Cross direction, armed forces of Ukraine liberated the village of Pishkiani. They also emphasize that the situation on the front is currently changing very rapidly. We can even talk about a slight reversal in the enemy's actions. Updates are made with delay for reasons of operational security. Fires continue at Chernobyl according to IAEA. Russian attack on Mykolaiv. One of the drones hit the central street. Explosion damaged shops and houses. So you tell me, how is a shopping center a military target? You know, a normal apartment building in Ukraine. How is that a military target? Video from Third Assault. I'll go through that and play it from their channel later. Natalia's coffee shop in Kherson was nearly destroyed by a Russian strike twice. But that did not stop her from staying in business. She's not the only small business owner in this southeastern city who continue to work despite power outage, lack of mobile service, and internet disruptions. Despite Russian attacks, local businesses show resilience and carry on.
Ось і до нас прилетіло. Розтрощило все, обладнання, декорації, меблі, котів навіть зацепило. От молоко для кав'ярні, молоко це поруч з кавою, це все. А ось не зміг постачальник приїхати, тому що обстріли на трасі. І все, викручуєтесь і сідаєш на таксі, там по супермаркетах, десь ще збираєш.
Крути, не крути, нікуди не обійдеться, і пожарить, і зварить, і все остальне.
$15,000 homes in Kherson have been destroyed. In Kursk, Russia launched a frontal attack armed with red flags. While going on the attack, the Russians shouted for Stalin. Right now, it's just a complete mess. The 155th column, under red flags, like it at a parade, went head-on into a swarm of Ukrainian drones along a mined road. Don't rub your eyes. We wrote everything correctly, namely under the red flags of victory and exactly along a mined road. Details will come later. We pray for the guys who are now in the fields. This is betrayal and murder. This is from a Russian post. But this is video from the 47th Brigade. Oh yeah, it's a little loud. Making snow angels. So I can almost guarantee you that most of that footage was from a Maverick 3 drone. So hopefully when Viper gets his drones, we can get footage like this from Viper and start watching videos from Viper's unit. Well, if you can afford to, send some money over to the fundraiser for the drones for Viper. 10% left to go. Ukrainian units repelling a massive mechanized attack. Multiple big mechanized attacks were reported, with Russians already coming close to Ukali. So this is the area they're talking about. So here's the video from it. Interesting song choice, that's for sure. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, that's all that I can stand. I'm sorry, that last song just reminded me of like MCP Pants from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. From Kellogg himself, the story of $174 billion sent to Ukraine as aid is a myth. The U.S. has only provided $65.9 billion in military aid to Ukraine, $22 billion per year. Over $51.2 billion of this military aid to Ukraine was actually spent in the U.S. So let me redo this so it's clear. This is from Kellogg, Trump's special envoy himself. Over $51.2 billion of this $65.9 billion of military aid to Ukraine was actually spent in the U.S. on its own defense industry. $14.7 billion that was not spent in the U.S. Russia spends $160 billion per year on the war, 8 times more than what we've sent to Ukraine. And we're not sending the money, we're sending the equipment that is manufactured from the money we spend here in the U.S. Don't be fooled. This man is telling the truth. For once, a politician speaks the truth. Will Russians be able to buy Coca-Cola again? Thanks to the Taliban? Okay. Got my interest.
Again. Coca-Cola left Russia due to its invasion of Ukraine, just like many other international brands did. And after that, Coca-Cola's Russian division was renamed and started producing a substitute called Dobry Cola. And other copycats started to pop up in the stores as well. But now summer regionals will return to Russia from the Coca-Cola factory in Afghanistan, opened by former President Hamid Karzai in 2006. Russian ambassador to Afghanistan, Dmitry Zhirnov, has announced a series of trade deals with the Taliban that will allow it to deliver spices, fruits, and carbonated drinks. Is this the end of the reign of Dobry Cola, Cool Cola, Fancy, and Street in Russia?
That's interesting. Saw that. Wow. Yevin, a veteran turned taxi driver on captivity, torture, and humiliation at the Ministry of Veteran Affairs. If this is in English, we might watch it.
Добрий день, таксі замовляли? У нас тут, знаєте, не зовсім звичайне таксі. Мені там дають якісь папери, я їх заповнюю, підписую, і мене відразу виводять на задній двір ТЦК, грузять в автобус і кажуть, вітаємо в Збройних силах. Після фронту і полону дуже сильно почали злити п'яні. Я сам злякався, що в подібній ситуації можу якогось такого чувака ненавмисно вбити. Бо я реально не запам'ятав моменти, як я йому втащив. Реакція на будь-які стресові події в житті – тепер виключна агресія. Психічні розлади не лікуються швидко. Це, скоріш за все, цитуючи Хемінгуея, свято, яке завжди з тобою тепер. В моєму випадку перевішали на вуха і били струмом через голову. І іншому полоненому чіпляли на соски, били струмом в серце. В Луганську МГБ ЛНР Є жінка, яка полюбляє це робити, вішаючи електроди на геніталії.
Так, їдемо. Їдемо на Хрещатик. Та я вже підходжу. До речі, чекаємо на таксі, де буде дуже особливий водій з дуже особливою історією.
Добрий день, таксі замовляли?
Добрий день. Ой, сорі, чуть не поцарапала машину. Добрий день. Наш герой сьогодні Євген Шибалов, ветеран російсько-української війни, колишній військовополонений, а зараз і вперше у своєму досвіді таксист. Хоча 2 місяці тому ще працював начальником управління в Міністерстві ветеранів, звідки звільнився, заявивши про систематичне приниження своєї гідності. А в який момент ти вирішив так почати таксувати?
То як звільнився з роботи, треба ж було на щось жити, бо, чесно кажучи, держава не дуже щедрий роботодавець. А оскільки я хлопець чесний і дурний, який хабарів не бере, то безробітне життя я пішов без фінансової подушки безпеки, таксую на своїй машині. Просто щоб банально заробити собі на їжу. Єдиний мінус зараз для мене таксувати в Києві, що дуже швидко темніє. А після контузії в мене сильно послабився нічний зір, і в темряві я реально як кротик. Тому я дуже чимненький, як тільки стемніло, відразу додому. Ну і в принципі контузія, на жаль, така падлюча штука, що дуже часто набагато пізніше б'ють саме по очах.
Після заяви на звільнення Євген написав резонансний допис, де вразив брутальною лайкою, якою, мовляв, постійно його обзивала безпосередня керівниця. За кілька днів у Міністерстві ветеранів повідомили, що звільнили заступницю міністра Руслану Величко, хоча вона згодом заявила, що це ніяк не пов'язано із закидами з боку Шибалова, і пішла вона з посади за власним бажанням.
Ось тут Міністерство ветеранів з боку від цієї будівлі.
Всередині.
Да, і тому, коли я таксую, то кілька разів на день проїжджаю по свою колишню роботу. Таке дуже цікаве відчуття.
Ти приїжджаєш, в тебе ще тригерить міністерство, коли ти поруч приїжджаєш?
Насправді найбільше мене тригерять штуки, пов'язані з полоном. І навіть якщо мені сняться жахіття, то вони всі про полон. Нічого про фронт. Тригери, пов'язані з роботою і з полоном, в мене зараз дуже сильно схожі. Бо це саме оце відчуття, коли тебе принижують, а ти при цьому беззахисний і не можеш відповісти. От мені довелося його пережити, так сталося двічі. Що мене здивувало, що навіть після того, як я подав заяву на звільнення, ніхто не спитався, чому я вирішив так зробити. Так ніби всім було трошки по барабану. Звільняється і звільняється, хай йде собі.
Вже дізналися всі з Фейсбуку?
Так, вже, власне, дізналися з Фейсбука, бо коли я звільнився, я подумав, а чи є в мене причини про це мовчати? Подумав і вирішив, що немає. Мені було дуже образливо це чути на свою адресу, в чому регулярно. Ладно, окей, якщо я поганий, один раз вискажіть все і звільніть. Давайте на тому закінчимо. Але я сам прошуся, кілька разів намагаюся звільнитись, не відпускають. Але при цьому розказують, який я дебіл. Першу заяву на звільнення я написав десь через 3 тижні після початку роботи в міністерстві. Я її сильно поважав, як дуже дієву, патріотичну, активну людину, тому і погодився з нею працювати. Я зрадів, що в мене буде така керівниця. Але виявилося, що попри те, що ми знали одне одного багато років, багато чого я про неї не знав.
Наприклад?
Наприклад, її манеру поводження з людьми, які від неї в чомусь залежать. Прилетіти насправді могло за що завгодно. Якого хуя, всі сидять, працюють, ти там на якісь курси ходиш.
А долбойоб за що сказав?
Забагато за що, регулярно.
Скажеш, що ти там часто зривав якісь дедлайни, або там не з'являвся на зустрічі. Такого?
This is a video by Humdrosky. They have a YouTube channel. Check out the rest of the video there. If it was in English and not subtitled, I'd watch the rest of the 20 minutes of it, but that's for me to do privately, not for a stream. Near Velika Novosilka, Russian forces launched a massive assault using bad weather as cover. Column after column, large infantry groups, despite snow and low visibility. The 110th Brigade and adjacent units repelled them. Some armor fled, the rest now rests on the battlefield. So, pretty booms coming up. Have a good night, fish. Yeah, I'm about 10 minutes away from ending the stream, so... which means this is going to be the last video for today. So enjoy the thermal imaging from the Maverick drone in video. So, and hopefully, like I said, soon we'll be able to get some from Viper and get hopefully some direct updates from them. Yeah, it's going on midnight here, Liam. But I think a 3-hour stream's a long enough stream. Yeah, it's almost 8 a.m. in Ukraine. Almost time for the operational information for today. But I am officially out of drinks and I need to go get more water. That's not a problem I've had this week. General consensus between cough medicine and antihistamines and everything else. I've been sleeping more and more. There's the favorite pterodactyl. Excuse me again. Sorry. Well, I am going to just minimize that here. We'll pick it up tomorrow. Catch up with more videos tomorrow. Oh, one thing. I want to show you. These are not the real temperatures. It got much, much colder here. With wind chill, I think we were at like minus 36 at one point. Yeah, very, very cold. These are Fahrenheit temperatures, not Celsius. But next week we'll be in shorts and t-shirts. Quick look for those that are more used to Celsius. So, yeah, these are the temperatures I've been facing this last week. And Sunday and Monday will be 16 and 17 degrees in Celsius. So, yeah. Wonder why I got sick. Negative 23, negative 25, negative 27, not counting the wind chill. And people wonder why I want to move to Ukraine. Where, oh darn, it got down to negative 12. I want to move to Ukraine to warm up. So, on that note, I am going to say good night, everybody. Thanks for coming to the stream and hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys being here, smacking the like button, and all that. But more so, I appreciate your support for Ukraine. Keep up the good work. Is now, I said this before, but even now, it's more important than ever with the man in the office of the President of the United States and some of the crap he's been saying. Your support for the individual units, for United 24, is more important than ever. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Stay safe, everybody.